you should, when you would evaluate or when you would look at your strategy, you should not get into something which is very, very proprietarily driven, which will lock down to you with the base to learn that particular technology. The user experience are completely changing in the way I mean, I've been doing this for the last 6 years, and I have seen the complete sea changes happened 3 years back or 2 years back or just last year, and the way that the things are getting consumed today. Today, when we go and talk to CXOs, they say that we want a wow experience. I want to give a wow experience to my users. I want them to use those applications. And what is the point of building those great apps, but if the great apps are not being used by people? There's no fun, right? So we need to give them that gamification experience. I'm not saying that you make an Angry Bird and give it to them. What I'm trying to tell you is make their life simple. Make it easier. I have some apps which will show it to you. I'm sure those are really wow apps which probably wouldn't have seen, but that's something which SAP has been doing, or SAP has been working on with our partners, and we're collaboratively working these apps and making and showing this to our consumers and try and unearthing their discussions on it. So if I look at the mobile infrastructure and look at what kind of devices we have and what kind of devices we would connect into. So we have those smart devices, we have those tablets, we have mobile phones, we have the communication channel, which is multi-channel gateway. Shashi did speak about financial inclusion. He did speak about the payment bank. So those are those C-class, D-class cities which once we reach into those areas, if your business demands to reach there, you would need a multi-layer foundation kind of a model to access to your network. And your consumer or your typically consumer, they can come through any channel. It need not be they come from a smartphone, or they may come from a tab or a feature phone. They may come from just a voice or IVR kind of or a web channel. So, but you need to have a common infrastructure to lay in, and you should have a common. So that's the point of consumption. Who are the guys going to be connecting to your systems? You're going to have line of business apps. You're going to have partner process apps. You're going to have business analytical apps which you do running. And I'm sure there is a huge list which will keep populating. And these systems will further connect into some kind of data points. Good chance it would be an SAP, or it can be a non-SAP system. It can also be third-party data sources. It can be a lot of other applications. And if you don't have a mobile strategy in place, and if you don't really look at that, what is that I should be doing in, and you would start with one app, maybe one journey, and then you start building it, you would end up in something like this. And at some stage, this will not be a scalable kind of a model. At some stage, this will not be secured enough, and once some stage you'll get locked down. There's no strategy without having a middleware kind of an approach. Today, if you look at Gartner has been talking about this for a quite long time, and they say that if you have 3 mobile devices, okay, connecting to 3 backend systems, okay, and you have 3 probably apps, you need a middleware. Without a middleware, you cannot run in. You would end up in something like this, and at some stage you would need to relook at the way your strategies get built. And if you put up a middleware, you would see something like this coming up. You would have a common interface which will talk to your backend systems. You'll have a common middleware infrastructure which will connect to various data points in the backend system, and you would have your employees, your consumers, your partners with a one single view, and you could run your business much more faster and sensible. This is something which bit of technical, probably just wanted to put up a point that when you build a mobile application, what you essentially see 2 things. For example, if I has to correlate this into a real life, when you see Angry Bird application, what you see on the top here, that's the Angry Bird which is playing in, and that doesn't need any infrastructure to run in. But when you look at a banking application, for example, or you look at any of, let's say, a CRM application which you want to mobilize, or let's say look at your SFA, or look at your services application, you have an infrastructure to run in. That's the bottom of that iceberg, and which is much more complex. And when you build, you need to think of from those perspective, how my app is going to run, because those apps are not going to run in silos. They are going to run with your backend keeping in mind, and whatever you do transactions on the device, that has to go and hit your backend system, and vice versa. This is a small example of a work order kind of a process. I've just picked up an example just to give you a perspective how mobility can really change and make a difference in the way things would move. So if anybody who probably would have implemented or they were running plant maintenance sitting here, they would understand this very well. And the technician who would typically go and service a particular equipment, if he is doing a paper-based model, he will have to do these multiple hops. And if that same process is brought into a mobile-based application, he can curtail those hops and make things easier, and his life will be easier, and you could save some time of him, and he can probably become more productive and do other jobs. These are some of the stats. I would not really talk about it, but this typically talks about the time what you save when you have mobile-based access to your enterprise applications. It also talks about how well you can maintain your assets when you have the right data points while you are servicing those assets. I will show you a small video which is a prototype which is built by SAP along with Google Glass, just to give you a perspective of how things are changing in, and then I'll have show some of the apps which we have.
What a final we have in store tonight. Two unbeaten teams hitting their peak at the right time, and it's going to be a great game. There seems to be a problem with the lights.
Job started.
Directions.
Walk 50 feet, then turn right.
Waiting to hear if there's a problem.
Warning, confined space. Panel located. Enter code 72. Initiate relay. Disable active circuits. Disconnect cable. Remove unit.
We've been told the problem with lights is being fixed. And there they are. The lights are back on.
Call Phil.
Calling Phil.
Yeah, this doesn't seem quite right.
Let me take a look. I'll take you through it. Hit the relay button.
Okay.
Then 784.
Got it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem quite right, but it'll be okay for now.
I'll put a new work order in for next week, Phil. Thanks for your help.
New work order submitted.
The atmosphere cranks up a notch. It's a beautiful night, and the big game gets underway.
So that's not something which is, no, I'm not over it. Please reserve them. I'm going to show you some more apps so that that will make you more happy. This is something which this is not something which is futuristic. This is very reality today is there. It's just ahead. We have not thought about it, but there is a good amount of work which is happening around IoT and with Google Glasses, and we would see some of these things coming up very soon. The wow factor which I wanted to talk about is these apps which this is the way the data will get consumed on these devices once we start embarking on journey. And if you guys don't do it, I'm sure you would need to look at this, because your employees, they would ask for some of these kind of experiences when they worked in other companies and they come back to you and work with you. We would, and this is an experience which you're trying to give. I mean, because if you make the life easier, you can expect much more productivity coming out of them, and much more efficiently they would come and work. We've been doing this. We have 9,000 plus customers globally, and doing it very well. Some of them must be sitting here, but if not, they're there. So that's my number. That's my mail ID. I'll just connect my iPad and just show you some of the apps which we have built. And they go and sell their product. So as an executive, if I want to go and sell, what I need to know, I'm a sales guy, and I know that I need to go and sell, but I need some data points when I need to go and sell. So I connect into my SAP system. So these are the list of consumers who can see who are there in the below, who typically Okay. So I'll explain the way the app is designed. So I have my list of my customers whom I need to meet every day. Through the list I get to see them. I also get to see what have they bought before, again connecting to that complex backend system. I also get to see what promotions are running in, so I don't need to call up my call center and keep asking them what is this promotion running in today. I also have an access to what are the most sellable products. So if I'm a sales guy and I know these data points, I can actually go and sell. I don't need to be worried about what product works, what doesn't work. Everything is in my data points on my device itself. So that's one app. I will show you other apps. I'm not sure whether this will work. Yeah, this is HR. Anybody uses HR here? SAP HR? So I'm sure you don't have seen this, but this is the way it looks like.
Woman always wins.
So look at the user centricity, what we're trying to bring, and look at the user experience, what we are bringing back to your employees. So as a manager, when I log into my HR portal, I would see. So this doesn't mean that it's SAP HR. Okay, it can be any HR system. It can be any apps, any backend app. What we're trying to talk about is the user experience, the user centricity, the aesthetics of that particular app, the way it gets delivered, and that's a real wow factor when you would look at this, and when you build your mobile journey, some of the area pointers you could take as a starting point and give that experience to your users, and they will really do a wow for that. I have my leaves which I can look at. I can leaves which are for approval. I can look at my details. I also have my e-learning content. I have my other components which I would run in. That's the employee app. I will show you a financial fact sheet app. This is a sales app. Typically when we go and this is for your business guys who run their business, and if I want to know who are my customers, so just by click of button I get to know my customers. I want to know who are my customers by sales volume, I get to know my customer by sales volume. I want to know who are customer by overdue, so I'll get those data points on my device. I want to know who are customers that exceeded my credit limit. Look at the experience. I mean, can't I have a similar experience to my CXOs or the guys who are running my business? I mean, look at the way their life would be, and look at the way their experiences would be. And they will not bother you for any other reports. So I want to look at this particular adjacent customer and look at his, why is he in red. So, and then there is an alert which has gone to the sales team saying that a customer is increasingly overdue on his payment, so why don't you go and urge a customer to pay early. So that's a notification which has gone to the system. And this talks to the SD model, it doesn't talk to the CRM of SAP, it's the SD component. There is another app which I would like to show it to you, is on a maintenance app. So I have my so this is my work order. I'm a technician. I need to go and service certain equipments. So I have a tablet. This may not be a tablet. It can be on a mobile device, the basic Android device. I may not have such a user experience, but I can still do my job, and I can make it still better on me than a basic Android device as well. So this is the way. This is my area beat or whatever, and these are the work orders which have been issued to me, and I can just click on the work orders, and I can see the which I need to go and service. Using augmented reality as a concept, we have taken on that as a pictorial view, and now I don't need to physically go and search where this particular transformer is. This transformer is right available in front of me. When I get into there, this gets tagged through iBeacon technology, and I would get to know that this equipment is located there, and then I start servicing that equipment, and I look at, okay, my I can accept the job, I can enter my dispatch details, I can also get some more data points, I can also get schematic diagram of that particular equipment. So look at the knowledge of that, the knowledge what imparting to your technician. His life is easier because he has everything on his fingertips. He doesn't need to carry a baggage of data along with him when he's servicing in case that equipment needs to be moved. So what kind of transport do I need? And I mean, that data is available here. So these are the work orders. You could see on the left hand side down. You can also see the previous maintenance history which is therein. So I would know who was my earlier person who have gone and serviced the equipment. What does he really do there? Or what has he changed? Or there is something which he has done or not done. I have that data points in front of me. I also can connect to the SCADA system and get that equipment e-catalog on the device and see what the equipment, in case I need to dismantle the equipment or any way I need can service it better. That information is available on my device.
So Sashi Shankar, Chief Marketing Officer, Idea Cellular Limited. Idea is also our silver sponsor for this event. Sales lead. So thank you once again, Ajit and Shashi, and can I say that what an idea SAP. But we will discuss around governance, risk compliance, and security challenges with this mobile technologies. We have a panel discussions here, so I would like to invite the panelists one by one, and then I will quickly introduce them. So first is Ajit Petkar, CIO, CTO, Zensar. Then we have Rajiv Jorapur, CIO, Bajaj Auto.